Hello guys, welcome back to the question guy, and today we're doing something new. This is venturing into the area of calculus, pre-calculus, calculus. Yeah. Well, let's just get right into it. Note that I am also learning this along with you guys. So, this is a learning experience for both of us. Decide which function is odd, even, or neither. So if you don't know what an odd or even function is, it is a graph, or, well, in this case, I guess, a function that is, I guess, upside down and reversely symmetrical. So let's say I have a graph that goes like this. Oh no, I messed up the edge. But anyhow, this is an example of a reversely symmetrical graph. This goes up, and then that goes down, this goes down, then this goes up in the same way. However, what to note is it has to be through the origin. That is crucial for for an odd type of function. Even if I were to move it up to one up on the y coordinate, or one to the left on the, or one to the right or left, it's basically if I move it on the y coordinate or the x coordinate at all, it's not an odd graph anymore, which I'll explain to which gets into what a neither graph is, a neither function. So an even function is where it's reflected over the y-axis. If you guys should know what a reflection is, that's a scuffed line. So here's my very scuffed graph, and a good example is just a parabola. That's a very bad parabola. A parabola with this being with a 0 point where there is, like, I don't know, 0 y number, it doesn't matter, as its vertex, because it is divided into the divided by the y coordinate. Now what you will notice is that every single function that is even also has this property. This, the integral power, it will be integral power, it has to be integral power, will always be an even number, hence the name. Same for this. The integral power will always be odd. The biggest integral, if we have like a polynomial, say x, I don't know, to the power 3 plus x squared plus 5x plus 2. This is a odd. This, my friends, is odd. Now this is an even. Actually, no, this is not. None of these are. I got this wrong. First of all, I have to do one thing. I have to get rid of this, which I'll explain why. So let's make it simple and leave it like this. Now, the reason I had to get rid of it was because the x, the function output has to be, remember, for even functions it has to be reflected in the y-axis. This one has to be reversely inversely symmetrical. Yeah, inversely symmetrical to through the origin. So x to the power 3 x squared is an odd, and x to the power 4 x squared is even. So now we can decide which function is odd, even, or neither. So let's take a look at the first one. So what we notice is negative 3x to the power 5 minus x. The reason why that matters is the biggest integral power could be 10, 1000, 100, 1000, whatever. It could be 10 to the power of like 10 to the power Google. 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power could go on forever. But what really matters is the numbers beside it, like x squared. If this, like as I accidentally made earlier, let's go to the even one. 3x squared. That's wrong. We cannot have this 3x because that will shift the odd or even graph. Either on the y scale or the x scale, depending on what I choose. And we don't want that. We want something that's either inversely symmetrical or reflected. So this one, any other variable is not multiplied by an integer, only this one. So this, and since this has an integral power of 5, this is definitely odd. Now remember, there's not supposed to be a 3 here. Now the next one, negative x times x to the power 3 plus x to the power 5. Well, we can just open this. So we have negative x to the power 4 minus x to the power 6. All of these are integral powers. If I were to rearrange, that's negative x to the power 6 plus x to the power 4. Now it doesn't matter. All of these are integral powers that are, this is this highest number. This is the highest integral power, which is 6, which is an even number. So this is an even. Now, this parabola, x squared minus 5x plus 1, is not, it's neither. It's, if I were to graph this, just ignoring this, x squared minus 1, that's x plus 1, x minus 1, not that, sorry. Because, this here, sorry, I made a mistake. This has this plus 1 shift. This is shifted by plus 1, shifting it toward the x here. This parabola is shifted 1. So wherever its vertex will be, if we just have x squared minus 5x, wherever it will be, it'll shift 1 to the right. And we can't have that. We cannot have it shift. That plus 1 is not what we want. We do not want to shift. So that is why this is neither. And that's it. Those are the answers. Thank you for listening to another video of the question guy, and I hope you learned something today.